Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cooking with the Flavors. Today, it's all about ribs. I hope you're all having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I thought I'd just dive into some ribs. Let's get into this. Alright everyone, let's dive into this. So, I got a beautiful slab of pork ribs here. I'm just going to trim up any excess fat that I don't want while it's cooking. So this giant chunk here has got to go. Let's get rid of that. And then on the back side there's this big huge piece of silver skin right here that we want to get rid of. All of this right here will not give us that tender bite that we're looking for. So we want to just go in there and just kind of loosen it up, and then it should come off with one big piece. So if the silver skin is giving you trouble, like it definitely did for me, you're just gonna have to take your time and remove it piece by piece until all of the silver skin is gone and you have a nice clean product in the back. So I'm just gonna clean up the rest of this fat and these little pieces that I don't need, and then I'm ready to season. All right, before we start cooking, we're just gonna lay out our parchment and our aluminum foil so we're ready to wrap after we season our ribs with all this delicious flavor. This will help the ribs stay nice and moist while cooking. So, classically, a little yellow mustard goes on your pork ribs, okay? And then all your delicious seasoning will go right on there and create a nice crust, okay? So let's get into it. We have 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of garlic. You guys can use granulated garlic or garlic powder. 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Smoked paprika. We're not going on the grill with this, guys, so we want that smoky flavor, so we're using half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Make sure it's smoked so you get that nice smoky flavor. 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. This will give it a nice aroma while it's cooking. A pinch of cayenne and a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes go in. 3/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar has more molasses. It'll give us a nice caramelly flavor. So that goes in. And then we're just going to go in with 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay? And then we're going to give this a quick mix. So once you have your seasoning all mixed together, just like that, we're going to go ahead with our massage. So you're going to take some yellow mustard. Not too much, because this is not for added flavor, it's a binder. It's going to help have everything stick nicely to the rib. So just on one side, flip it over, get the excess on the opposite side, okay? You don't need much on the back side because remember, this is the membrane that's holding all these ribs together. It's not that big of a deal. The front side has all that beautiful meat. That's what we want all the flavor on, okay? Then you're gonna take about half of your seasoning right over it. Give it a nice little pat, and you're just sprinkling it on top of the ribs, getting it nicely coated, just like that. So you want to be able to coat the ribs so you can barely see through to the meat, not over seasoning. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it, dab it, and then all that excess that comes off, you're gonna place each side of that rib right on it, not to waste any of it. Okay, it is a little messy, but that's what we're working in the kitchen. Then on the back side, light dusting. Not too much. You don't want to go too heavy on this side. Just like that. Spread it all around. Give it a nice massage in. And we're ready to wrap. And that's how your pork rib should look. Alright, so next we're going to take our parchment. We're going to save this to the side, the rest of our seasoning. These seasonings you can move out of the way. Give yourself a nice little space. take our parchment paper. The ribs go right in the middle, just like that. Kind of smush it together, and then bring the ribs up to your cutting board, just like this. Then we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This will help with some flavor and keep that pork nice and moist. So we're just going to wrap it just like you would a gift. Slice them up, give it a little press, just like that. Give it a nice little roll around so that paper is stuck to it.
So once you finish that, repeat the process with the aluminum foil and then onto a sheet tray and in the oven at 300 degrees for at least 2.5 hours.
And then once we uncover that, we're going to take the rest of our seasoning and put that on top. It's going to create a nice crust. That's a key. A lot of people don't know this trick. I'm telling you guys. Now you know.
Now open this bad boy up. Like so. Oh, the smell is amazing. Now we're going to have all these delicious juices. Look at that. So what you want to do is try to save all that juice as much as you can. You can see that they're just coming off the bone. 2.5 hours of cooking. And we're going to take this juice that we have here, and it's going to go right into our pot. I have 1 cup of barbecue sauce and this sieve here. So we're going to take the ribs out and kind of make a little well so we can get all that juice right in to our pot with our barbecue sauce to give us that extra flavor. Once you have all the juice in there, give your barbecue sauce a quick stir. You can use 1 cup of your favorite barbecue sauce like I'm doing here. And then we're going to take the remainder of our seasoning, sprinkle that over, and then into a 425 degree oven for 10 minutes until the crust is nice and crispy and browned on the top. So out of the oven, they should look just like this, nice and golden brown. Now it's time to baste. So the barbecue sauce is hot. We're going to baste it right over the ribs and then back into the oven for another 5 minutes or until it is nice and sticky.
All right, y'all. The ribs are out of the oven. I'm going to take it and we're going to let them rest before we slice into them. Right on the cutting board. Look at that. Beautiful. The sauce is nice and tacky and sticky. Delicious. All right, the only thing left to do now is just to slice them up and serve them. So, right down in the middle of them. Ooh, look at this. Delicious. Look at this. I don't even have to cut them. They're falling right off the bone. Boom. Look at this. The bone's coming right out. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, buddy. Look at this. Look at that, y'all. That's goodness right there. Look at that. Mmm. Juicy. Steamy, delicious, moist ribs. And you do it inside, baby. You serve them up and you gobble them all down. Easy ribs indoors. And I'm just gonna get into it. No talking. You guys gotta give this a try. The flavor is unbelievable. That crust that we put on there with all the seasoning. I'm putting it in that tin foil and into that parchment paper. Really keeps it nice and moist. I mean, it's falling right off the bone, guys. Look at this. Clean bones. Still has nice texture. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Remember, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and follow me at The Flavors on Instagram.